Hi, this is CK at CK Education, and today I want to talk about money, whether you own money or whether money owns you. I've seen both. I've seen both cases in which people own their money. They're free. They feel that they understand that money is a tool, and it's only a tool. It's not. It doesn't buy happiness. It is not happiness in and of itself. It's like having a hammer or a saw. If you're a wood maker, I mean, it's a tool, and it's all in how you use it. But you don't put your it's not your life. It helps you with your life. It gives you opportunities and so forth. And there are some things that you can do. But people who own money understand that money is just a tool, and it doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define your value, and it doesn't determine your worth. It's just a tool. And people who have that mindset know how to use it. They know how to make it. They know how to save it, and they know that the greatest things in life actually don't cost money, and the most important things in life cannot be purchased with money. They don't chase after money. Most of the times, money chases them. But again, they are not owned by it. They're not a slave to money. And I think that you can really only go two ways. I think it's hard to be neutral on this matter. I think it's hard to be to say, well, I'm neither this nor that. I think you either own your money or it owns you. I think for all the people that I've seen in my life up to that point, I think it really just comes down to two. You either own it or it owns you. And if you own money, that's good. You have freedom. You're in charge. You're not weighed down by when to stop. You can stop. You don't have to keep making more and more and more and more and more. You're not on this vicious cycle. And when you make less, you don't feel like you're worth less than you were when you made more. When you make more, you don't feel like you're more valuable than when you made less. It has nothing. Again, it's just a tool that you use to do things with and to buy things and to use. On the other hand, if money owns you, you are on this perpetual cycle of having to earn more and more. It doesn't matter how much you have, you always just want more. You need more. You're never content. You're miserable. And no matter how much you have, it's never enough. You're obsessed with making more and more and more. Your own sense of worth wavers depending on how much money you have. When you have a lot of money, you feel like $1,000,000. When you don't have money, you feel like you're worth nothing. And your self-worth and your self-esteem goes up and down based on how much money you have. The kinds of friends that you have change when you have a lot of money versus when you don't have a lot of money. The people you hang out with change. When you have a lot of money, you leave the people who are faithful to you, who are loyal to you through the years. And when you don't have money, you go back to those people. When you have money, you leave those people. You're always worried about money. You don't know when to stop. Money to you is much more, has much more value, meaning in your life, in your heart. It fills things that it shouldn't fill, that it cannot fill. You're not happy, but if you just have more money, if you buy more things, you think you'll be happier. You have no peace in your heart, but you think as long as you make more, that peace will come someday. Whether you spend a lot of time with your kids or not, money is more important to you. Making a lot of money is more important to you than anything. Money owns you. Even if you have a lot of money, sometimes some people who are owned by money, they have a lot of money, but they are some of the stingiest people you have ever met. They are afraid, literally afraid to spend money because they're afraid that they're going to lose it. They're afraid that it's going to somehow leak out and they're not going to have enough. And I've seen people like that. It is a very unhealthy, unhappy, this vicious cycle that people get into when money owns them. I think there's a misconception when we talk about this kind of thing. When I say you own money. And some people think, oh yeah, I mean, look, I don't care about money. I'm really poor. I'm sort of content. What they really mean is they're lazy. They're complacent. They don't really care. They don't grow. They don't, they never, they stopped learning a long time ago. They just want to live poor, and they feel sorry for themselves, and they just think, yeah, money, I'm never going to make a lot of money. And they get down and they just think, see, money doesn't owe me, because I don't have any money, and I'm poor, so they get down on themselves. That's not what I mean by you own money. Okay, just because money doesn't own, when I say money doesn't own you, it doesn't mean you're poor. Okay, it's a mindset. It doesn't really matter how much money you have. It's what you think about the money you have. And so, whatever amount of money you have, whether you're poor, whether you're mega rich, whether you're someplace in the middle, it is your mindset about what you think of money. Do you love money so much that you love it more than all other things in your life? Do you let it define you? Do you let it determine your worth? And or do you understand it's merely a tool? It's merely a tool. Sometimes you can make a lot more, sometimes you can make a little bit less, but you understand that your health is just as important, your family is more important, and sometimes you have to work a little bit less. Sometimes you have to make a little bit less, and that's okay. It's perfectly okay, because you're balancing that, and you get your priorities straight. You understand that is something that we all are borrowing while on planet Earth, and then when we leave, we can't take any of it with us. It's something that it's something that we have for a time, and then temporarily we have, and then we have to leave it. We don't get to take it with us, and we don't act like it's going to be with us forever. It's so important that no matter how much money you have, that you have a right perspective and the right mindset about money. Money is just a tool. And don't get obsessed about it. It's going to ruin your life. Don't let it control your life. Don't let it control how you feel about yourself, your self-worth, and things like that. Because in the end, money is just a tool. Making a lot of money is great. If you don't make as much money, that's okay too. The important thing is that you have peace in your heart, that you're content in your life, you're constantly growing, learning, you have a good, positive attitude. Your relationships are good, and I think if you do those things, that for those kinds of people, I think they actually make more money. But again, it's not making a lot or more or less that really determines anything. If you have enough for what you need, and if you're content with that, then I mean, who can say anything about that? You're fine. But it's so important that you don't get owned by it. Now, some people change. Some people, when they didn't have money, they say, yeah, I don't really, money doesn't own me. And then as they make more and more, or as they see these opportunities, they're so not used to having money that when they get a certain amount of money, they feel like they change, and money begins to own them. So don't think that whatever your mindset is today, that it is forever stagnant. It can change. People who have been owned by money, when they understand how miserable that kind of life is, they kind of let go of the shackles, and they have the right perspective, and they own it rather than being owned by it. On the other hand, there are people who never felt that trap of being controlled by money, and yet as they made more and more money, as they got older, they got desperate, they got urgent, they got obsessive about money, and they've changed. So I'd encourage you to stay consistent in understanding that money is just a tool. It's just something that we have to use for a time. It's not eternal. It's not something that we can take with us when we leave this earth. It's something that we're given, and sometimes that's something that we can make while we're here, and we can enjoy it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's important that we don't get owned by it. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you own your money rather than it owning you. As always, I appreciate you watching my videos. There are many other videos I encourage you to watch on my channel that deal with a lot of things like this about money and finance, about mindset, about career success, about relationships and parenting advice and everything else. So I hope you'll check it out. And thanks so much for watching this video up to this point. And until my next video, I hope you stay well.